Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to my analysis video for this week. So I've already gone through the pairs as usual to scan them to see what opportunities I'll be interested in this week. So I've already gone through and highlighted them. Some I've drawn up and updated, some I haven't. So I'll just probably do some updates while I'm scanning the pairs as well. So we'll start here on AUDCAD. All right. So this was analysis that I did last week. So this actually played out as expected, but it did set up on Sunday, right? So I think Sunday opened on this candle just here, on this doji candle. So that was the first 4 hours of Sunday. And that wasn't an entry reason for me. The entry reason came on this candle, which was, I think, the 1 a.m. candle for me. So I wasn't able to actually enter the opportunity. I did have a second chance to enter the opportunity, not on this pulse, but on this pulse when it came to retest this level. This also gave another entry opportunity here. But again, I missed that opportunity because it set up late Asia the following day on Monday, and that would have been a really good trade. So that's a bit unfortunate, but you know, you can't catch them all, right? So what I'll be looking at, what I'll be looking for in this pair would be a slightly deeper retracement, kind of back into these broken highs. The highs I'm looking at are the most recent highs just here. I'll probably pay attention to these highs if it gets here, but these are the highs I'm more interested in looking at, right? If it gets here and, you know, show some nice signs of rejection, give me an entry reason, then I'll look for that continuation move, right? So that's something I'll be looking at. I have my alert set. I think it's at around 963. Yeah, around, where is it? Yeah, 9631. Let's just push it up to 5, right? So I got my alert set around that level. So if it comes back there and it alerts, then I'll pay attention to it. Hopefully, if it does and it does set up, I'm actually able to take the trade. All right, so moving on to AUDCHF. So this was the analysis I did last week. So this, so I was seeing one of two scenarios: either price to push lower, kind of slowly retrace back into these broken lows just here, and drop. So that didn't play out. The second opportunity is kind of setting up. We had that impulsive move above the level, right? And currently we're having that retrace, right? So what I'll be looking at from here is just for that the second portion of the analysis to kind of play out. If that does happen, I'll be interested in trading this to the long side, right? So if we get some rejection at the level, right, I'll be looking for that continued move, right? So we have basically this trend line here, which is pretty well respected, right? You know, it's pretty much the same analysis as last week. So we kind of have this one touch, I guess you could call it, I'll consider this one touch, right? So this is one touch, I'll call this the second touch, third touch, and we have that fourth touch, which had some leakage through the trend line, right? So we have that nice decent level there. It's clearly respected. Support, resistance. So hopefully support here, get a nice entry signal. Then I'll be looking to trade it. Probably back up to these previous highs just here. I don't know. It depends on if it sets up, right? AUDUSD. So this one's probably a little bit messy. So I was actually expecting this to kind of continue in this bearish momentum, right? But instead this week, so I kind of identified this range here. This is a range. This is the range I was looking at, right? And I was kind of seeing the possibility of kind of like a flag formation, right? This kind of you know, a move like this, right? And then some continuation. So I was just hoping to see that leg of the continuation upon breaking out of the range, right? But that didn't actually happen. Instead, we broke to the upside, breaking this. I guess it can't really be considered a trend line, but breaking higher, breaking past these highs, and it broke very impulsively, right? So I'll be paying attention to it. There's no solid trading setup for me on this pair, but if I see, I'll just delete this as well because that's no longer needed. But what I'll be, because I mean, on USD has been in this uptrend for a while, right? We've been in this longer term uptrend market. So what I'll be looking for, if it does kind of happen, I don't know if it does, right? If we get a retest of the broken highs of the range, so either these most recently broken highs or the highs of the range, so kind of these highs around this level just here, right? Something like that. Yeah, if we get a nice clear setup here, you know, like if price retraces very correctively to the level, so if we kind of see this slow retracement back to the level, right, then maybe, and you know, get some rejection, then maybe I'll be interested in trading it, right? If I get some nice confluence around that level, if I just pull a fib, maybe like from the lows to the highs, Yeah, so around this 50% level, maybe 618. So these highs would be a 618 retracement. These highs here would be a 50% retracement. So yeah, I mean, it might be interesting. I'll keep an eye on it. If it does set up, then I'll probably trade this to the long side. EURCAD. So this one, so on this pair, I'm just waiting for entry reason because I don't know. I don't know why I have it in my in my head, but I think we're gonna return to this this origination of this big bull move. I just have a feeling we aiming for these lows again, and I'm just trying to get involved some way, right? So maybe it might be a trade on the daily time frame. I don't know. Maybe if price pushes back up to this trend line, maybe into this supply level. I don't know. Right now, I'm just looking for an entry reason to get short. So if something sets up really clear on this pair, I'll probably try to get any any reason to enter this short. Because if it does, right, if price does kind of pull back up into this level here, retest the trend line, retest these previous highs, kind of form that. I guess it wouldn't be a double top because it's not really in the range, but I don't know. You know, that's maybe an interesting trading level for me. It's like a nice even handle number as well. Kind of that 1.50500. So it might be an interesting level. I'm gonna set an alert. At alert, yeah, right at the 5 level, right. Right. So if price kind of pushes back up there, I'll be interested in trading it. But that's probably gonna be a long-term trade for me. What would that setup look like? It depends on if it sets up and I get an entry, but we just say it stops above the level. Initial targets at previous lows, so that would be a 4-to-1 setup just there. And then if it does reach the holy grail, then you know that'll be a nice 10-to-1. Could probably even get tighter with the stops. I don't know. Depends on if it sets up or not. But yeah, so that's something I'll be very interested in. Even though we have that structural break, you know, we broke these highs here on the daily. But this is a clear supply level just here. So I don't know. I'll just be paying attention to it, see if it sets up. Hopefully I have the patience not to force a trade. And you know, there's also this, I mean, it kind of lines up nicely with these previous lows just here as well. So I don't know. If it sets up, I'll be very interested in trading it. So anyway, moving on, EURJPY. So this one's also kind of interesting as well. So we have price forming this kind of clear resistance here on the daily. But if you look on the H4, right, it's not the cleanest, right, but you're kind of having this ascending triangle, right? So if you just connect these kind of wick lows just here, so that's setting up kind of nicely just there, like so. And then you have the resistance level as well, you know, kind of like these highs here, right? So you kind of have that ascending triangle formation, right? And maybe, right, so maybe we might be seeing something like this because the price is hitting that resistance and forming a low, hitting the resistance, forming a higher low, hitting the resistance, forming a higher low, hopefully hitting the resistance, forming a higher low, right? And you know, eventually with that tightening of price, you're gonna eventually see that breakout, right? It's like it keeps knocking on that resistance, and the sellers aren't able to push price as low as they pushed it before, right? So the theory is hopefully the buyers will find enough energy to kind of push price higher and break through. And if it does break through, I'd look for that retest to come back in and test the broken highs with nice rejection. Then I'll look for that continuation. If that sets up, that would be a pretty nice trade for me, right? I like those types of setups. So I'll just be keeping an eye on this one closely. Hopefully it does set up. If it does, I'll be trading this to the upside. EURNZD. So I'm not too sure about this trade or this setup, but you know, we had that touch of this trend line here, which we had some leakage, but it was pretty well respected, right? Now the reason why I'm looking at this is because we kind of having a double bottom, right? So you have these highs here. This high never broke this high, right? But equally, if you look at the lows, right, this low never broke. All right, this low never broke this low, at least not yet, right? So we have that kind of maybe like a range starting, or you could probably call that a double bottom. I don't know. But why I'm interested in this is because if we pull up the RSI, right, this low here is almost as low as this low here, right? It's a higher low, in fact, but it almost got to that low. But if you look on the RSI, it's quite significantly lower, right? So, you know, it took a lot of effort to get price back to this level, to this previous price point, right? So I think we'll probably start to see a shift back into upward structure or uptrend structure. If that does happen, right, we're starting to see that on the H1 on the lower time frames, right? We had this high, you know, we had a high here, low, another high, a lower high, lower low. Then we kind of had, it's not really a high, but then we broke this previous high. So let me just map it out, right? So we had the high, low, the lower high, the lower low, the higher high, your higher low, and then you have another higher high, right? So if price pulls back into these broken highs just here, right, with some, and gives me a rejection and a nice entry reason, then I'll look for that continuation to the upside, right? So that's a setup I'll be very interested in. So kind of like that pattern there, right? Had that reversal pattern forming. So I'll be interested in trading this. These are the highs I'll be looking at just here, and we broke those highs impulsively as well. Nice, clear, strong breakthrough. So if we kind of pull back to that level, then, you know, I'll be interested in trading that. So this is something I'll be looking at this week. I've got it marked in red because it's not super clear, right? But if it does set up, then I'll be paying attention to it. I've got my alert set there as well. All right, EURUSD. So this one, I'm also kind of paying attention to this for a retrace into these broken highs. I'd like to see it get back to the most recent broken highs. So these highs just here, right, kind of around this level just here, right? But I'll pay attention to what price does if it gets around these highs, right? So the reason why I'm looking to trade this to the upside is because we had this clear kind of downtrend structure being formed. We broke it very impulsively. Why am I on the 1 hour time frame? All right. So we had that bearish structure here, all right, lower highs, lower lows, but we had that shift in momentum a few weeks ago, broke that trend line very impulsively and continued to form uptrend structure, right? We paused at this level here, which was previously an area of kind of consolidation, right? We paused at that level, right? And price found the momentum to break through. So what I'll be interested in is hoping to see price kind of pull back into the level, hopefully correctively. Nice slow retracement back into the level, show some rejection, change the structure, and then look for that continued momentum. So yeah, hopefully I'll probably raise my alert just a little bit. Yeah, around there, that looks okay. So yeah, so if price pulls back into that level, then, you know, I'll get alerted and look for some trading opportunities if they do set up. All right, moving on, GBPAUD. So this one, I've got a change in bias, right? So we had this kind of this uptrend here, this trend line that was broken. All right, we had 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, 4th touch, and then we failed to push higher, right? Instead, we broke through that trend line very impulsively. So I was actually expecting this to kind of respect the trend line here, right? Kind of come in, respect the trend line, shift back into uptrend structure, retest, and then look for that continuation, but that never happened. Instead, we just broke through impulsively. So now I'll be looking at these lows here, these lows just here, these broken lows, right? So I'll be hoping to see price pull back into these broken lows, show some rejection, nice clear entry reason, and then look for that continuation. We are moving back into the lows very impulsively as well, but depends on what it does when it gets to the level, then I'll make a trading decision. So I'll just pull a fib here, so that will be, so right, smack that between the 618 and the 50% retracement. So yeah, I'll be interested in trading there for sure. So I'll be keeping an eye on it and see what it does if it gets to the level. All right, GBPCHF. So this one, if I just jump to the daily time frame, so we had that kind of reversal pattern hopefully forming, right? So we had higher highs on price, lower highs on the RSI, quite significantly lower highs on the RSI. Strong bearish momentum after a struggle to push price higher. We broke through the previous lows, right, showing that shift in structure. So once we broke those lows, we broke it very impulsively. Now I'm just waiting to see if price pulls back into these broken lows here, a retest with rejection, and then look for that continuation. All right, so this pattern just here, right? So that's what I'm looking to see. It's a nice reversal pattern. So if that sets up, then I'll be looking to trade this to the downside. GBPNZD. So this one, I'm so happy I closed my long position on this. But yeah, so this actually played out. So I traded that already. This never played out. Right, so this never played out. The third scenario, this is currently playing out, right? So hopefully it's very similar in setup to GBPAUD, but yeah, so hopefully, you know, it does set up, right? But the only thing I don't really like about how these are playing out is just the momentum that is moving back up with, right? But it's a clear shift in structure here, breaking these lows, never retested it. So if it pulls back into the level, show some signs of rejection, Might even get some bearish hidden divergence as well, because this is almost back to these previous highs just here, and price is quite significantly lower. So I don't know, there might be some hidden bearish divergence setting up there. If it does, and I get a good entry reason, then you know I'll be looking to trade this to the downside. GBPUSD, this one's really messy. I should actually just change this to red because it's just a little bit messy. But what I'm seeing is, right, so we had this long-term trend line here that was broken, right? Price is currently coming back to retest it. So this was a setup I was looking at previously, but I never did set up, right? What I'll be looking to see happen on this pair, if I just remove this down, right? What I'll be looking to see on this pair, I'll just connect this low to this low and extend it, right? So we had support, broke through resistance, possibly resistance, right? So I want to see what price does from here. You know what, I might just remove this from my list because it's not super clear. I might be forcing something here, but I'm seeing a shift in lower time frame structure, right? So if I am to be trading this, we already had that impulsive move. In fact, let me just delete this zone here because that's no longer valid. That's my daily level. So let's just see, right? So you see, all this is just really messy. You know what? Let me just think here. Yeah. All right. So you know what? I'm probably just gonna leave this pair alone. But what I'll be looking to see. So where I was going with this, right? So we had support, resistance here, possible resistance here, right? But we also had that shift in structure starting to happen. Plus we had that strong bullish move to close off Friday, right? So I was actually looking at these highs for a retest, but I don't know. I don't think that's going to be a good trading level. So I'm probably just going to leave this one alone. I'll keep my eye on it. I probably wouldn't be trading it. I just want to see what price action does with what I've drawn up here, just to kind of teach myself as price unfolds. So I'll just be keeping an eye on it. And last pair that I'm looking at this week is NZDCHF. All right, so we've been in this kind of uptrend for a while. However, we had a shift in structure recently, right? But we haven't price pushed back higher very impulsively, right? So this first scenario here didn't set up, right? Instead, we saw price push off the level, broke back above the trend line that was drawn in, came back to this kind of zone here, right? So resistance, support, broke through resistance, kind of support here, kind of resistance here. So it's kind of back at this level now, right? So depending on what price does at the level, I might be looking to take an entry. It's not the super clearest thing, so, and it's already kind of at the level now. So that's just 0.382. Yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on it. I'm not gonna probably trade this because it's already at the level here on Sunday, right? So it's gonna be at the level for market open, and it's not. I can already tell this is not a setup for me. So, but essentially, what I'll be looking at here on this pair, some rejection here. We already got the confirmation of rejection. It's not the clearest. It's kind of indecision on this on the forward time frame. So that's kind of an indecision candle. Just drop to the H1. Yeah. Right. So what I'll be looking at, if price is to set up here, which will take some doing, what I'll be looking at to happen from this level, I'll just delete this actually. I'd like to see this high here be broken, and be broken impulsively. Right. Nice clear breakthrough. Maybe test those highs. Maybe pull back into this broken high here and then look for something like that, right? If I am to trade this, where it is now, I'm not going to trade it because it's Sunday and it's not the clearest opportunity at this level. But if it starts to form uptrend structure on the lower time frames, then you know I'll probably look to get involved in something similar to this if it does set up, right? And that's pretty much it. USD/JPY, I'm just managing that position that I had open from last week. So there's no fresh analysis on that one. But yeah, so that pretty much wraps up the video here for the week. Yeah, as usual, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. You know, if you like what you see and you like the way that I kind of go through charts and analyze stuff, then feel free to join me on my trading journey. If you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. And if you think the video would be useful to anyone, you know, feel free to pass the video on. All right, I will catch you guys, I don't know, maybe midweek. If not midweek, then I'll see you guys next week for the recap. All right, see you later.